This right here is the 2023 BMW iX. Now I'm gonna give you guys an outside walk around, an inside tour, and I wanna know if you would take this over a Tesla Model X. All right guys, so starting with the price, this one currently sits at $105,000. The base price is around $85,000, so that's around where the Tesla Model X starts, and you can top it out to depending on how you option that one out as well. But let's start with the styling and get right into it. Starting with the front, it's got the BMW's new grille design, which is very aggressive, very tall, but it's not really functional because it's all electric. And this front portion here has a self-healing film on top of it, so if it gets scratches, dings and dents, it is self-healing. Just with normal temperatures, just having it out in the sun, or if you really want to speed it up, you take a heat gun to it and it will cure those scratches. So it's kind of like paint protection film. Deep gashes, it won't really fix, but it's really cool to see that and implemented from the OEM, straight from the factory. If you take a little closer look up here, you notice there's a front camera as part of that 360 surround view camera, and it does clean itself. It kind of juts out and shoots some wiper fluid on it. And to fill up that wiper fluid, you just press right here and you fill up your wiper fluid in there, which is really cool. Nice little packaging, because they don't want you really opening up the hood on this BMW, so just keep that in mind. Coming down here, you do have a nice little aggressive front spoiler with shutters that open and close depending on cooling demand for the electrical motors. You got parking sensors here, and if you come along the side, you see there's a nice little styling here, and you have air that feeds in to the side of the bumper to create an air curtain around the wheels. And these wheels are 22 inches with 275/40 series sidewall Bridgestone tires, and these got the M Performance brakes, which are painted in blue and look really cool. Going back to the headlights here, they're really thin, very modern, and they got BMW's LED headlight system built in, which look really cool, and they're very functional. And as far as the paint scheme goes on this car, it's that Aventurin red. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Looks really cool, really makes this car pop, especially in the light, as you guys can see here. But let's come along the side here and take a look at these bronze accents that they put in here. Very sleek looking, look really nice, especially with that paint. And if you look at the mirror cap right here, you'll see another camera as part of that 360 surround view camera system. But as far as that bronze accent goes, it goes across the entire side of the car and goes all the way up to the top right here. But there's some more bronze accents because you actually have them on your door handle surrounds. This right here is your keyless entry and go. And if you put your hand down here, press it, it opens up. And it's got like a frameless door surround, so when you go to close it, it lifts back up. And that's just like what Tesla does, so keep that in mind. There is a little button right here. If I go to press it, it's a mechanical latch in case there is any failure. You can pull on that to open up the door. We're not gonna need that right now because everything's working just fine. It's taking a step back here. You do have your charge port door, which is really big, and then you have your AC and DC ports, which is really cool. You close one, close both, but it won't let you be a dummy and close without having these caps closed off. But let's talk about range. This one is estimated to get 307 miles on a full charge. The larger wheels do reduce that range a bit. I'm currently on track to get around like a little, like low 310 miles based on the gauge cluster display. But if you drive a little lighter, that does tend to go up or down, obviously. Your results may vary, so just be mindful of that. But let's go around the back and continue with the styling. This is a clamshell trunk. So if you take a step back here and take the whole thing, it's a nice full surround clamshell design. These 3D styling taillights, which look very sleek, very nice. And you get your iX badging right here in bronze. If you come around back here, this BMW logo has a rear camera, and this little cap will pop out and it'll actually clean those when you want to clean your cameras, in case you have like poor visibility, which is nice in more inclement weather, snow and stuff like that. If I go to open it real quick, because US regulations require taillights to be on the car at all times, even when the trunk is open, you have a backup set right here. So if you have your hazards on, those will be illuminated, or your brake lights or whatever, in case your trunk is open in an event of an emergency. I'm gonna push my backpack here real quick because you do actually have hidden storage down here, and it's really deep. Right now it has charging cables in here, but you can fit a bunch of other stuff if you don't want to house your charger right here. So that's great to see. With all the seats down, you get up to 78 cubic feet of storage space, and you get quick access to that just by pressing these buttons right here. So there's left and right. You press those, or you pull them, and they will fold the seats flat for you. Very nice flat load form. Really good for as far as practicality goes, and very easy to operate. But they do only fold down. You have to bring them up manually, so just keep that in mind. Other cool things you see here real quick is you do have a little hook that pops out if you want to hook some bags here, and then that's your 12-volt outlet right there. Another thing is what I have actually taken down, but I can bring up really easily, is this shade privacy shield. So you just kind of bring this up here, line it up, and pop it in place, and you're good to go. Now let's hop into the front seats and see what tech and comfort as well as luxury we get over there. Inside the BMW iX, really nice in here, especially with this leather setup. And keep in mind, all the leathers, wood, those types of materials are sustainably sourced. And you'll know that because of this leaf embossed right here. That's kind of BMW's commitment to using sustainably sourced materials inside this vehicle, but it still feels very premium. And starting with these seats, they feel like a couch, super plush, very well padded and supportive, and they're perforated, heated, and ventilated, but they also have a tweeter in the headrest as a speaker basically, but you also get a speaker underneath your butt, and that kind of gives you more bass tones, and it feels and sounds really nice. Take my word for it. Going on to the door panels real quick, let's talk about that. Starting from the inside and working our way out, we do have the Bowers & Wilkins speaker grill. It's a metal speaker grill, part of that speaker system. Sounds really nice, and right below is a nice mesh material, which feels really nice. You have your power lock and unlock buttons, as well as the button right below that, which is to open the door electronically. Going right of that is your seat controls. They're bedazzled, they give a nice little crystal look to it, but it feels really premium. And then right next to that is your memory seat controls. Just below that is a little opening, and I think that's there as a phone holder. It fits my phone really well, and I'll actually hand that to Ethan so he can put in there and show you guys what that's like, and check that out. I mean, honestly, fits nicely. It's not meant to be a handle because that's what's kind of indent of it right next to the window switch, but it's really cool. And then right below that, you do have your pockets. If you want to place a bottle in the bottle holder or just store anything in the door pocket. But let's come inside actually, and we'll show you the rest of the interior. And starting with the dash, again, that nice leather interior in here, really cool. And then you see these spokes here, which support this dual curved display system. It's curved, it consists of two separate screens with a split down the middle. This one's touch sensitive, this one isn't. And it's got a full suite of new BMW's new iDrive system. So I'm not gonna get super into that. I'm sure there's videos out there that go into that in depth, but that's just not the purpose of this video. It's got Apple CarPlay, it's got Android Auto, it's got your gesture controls, which is really cool. And once you get used to it, it works really nicely. So there is a learning curve to it, but like everything tech related and screen related, there is a learning curve to it. But let's talk about physical controls, because you get that down here. So coming down here, this is a wood panel with letters kind of etched into it, or they're raised, and they feel really premium, but they're also touch sensitive, capacitive buttons that give you like a haptic feedback depending on how you interface with it. This knob right here is made out of crystal, and it's how you interface with your iDrive controller. Very nice, floaty, feels premium, as well as your volume knob, which we're not going to raise because of copyright concerns. The gear selector right here is also made of crystal. You have your start-stop button, your gear selector, your parking brake, and then your auto hold. And then over here is a center console that splits down the middle and has very deep storage with a nice little tray up here. Over here, you have another phone holder, and it's got a wire pass-through. So you can take your wire, which I have somewhere over here, and you can feed it through, and then you just plug it into your phone, and you can rest it in there, and you can plug in fast charging while it just sits there, and then you still have easy access to it when you need, which is nice if you don't want to rest it on a wireless charger. You get two coupled over here. Because it's all electric, you have a nice pass-through, which is great. And honestly, there's a lot of practicality and usability with this phone setup, with the controller. Everything's nice and within reach. You still have voice commands, which are honestly pretty good. I played around with them a bit, but I'm gonna be using this knob, honestly, or just the touchscreen. Moving on to the driver's side, let's go to the door panel and talk about what we get. All our switch gears right here. You have your child lock, the same bedazzled memory seat setting and seat controls, lock unlock, and then your door opening button. And then down here, you do have your power lift gate. You push it down to open it and you pull it up to close it. So it's a little counterintuitive in my opinion, just putting that out there. Let's look at this frame real quick. It's made of a carbon composite that uses other materials like CFRP, which is carbon fiber reinforced plastic. Looks really cool. Obviously it's solid, it's been crash protected, but it just shows the level of effort they went towards making this as lightweight, but as also structurally sound as possible. But let's look at the pedal box real quick. They are plastics, nothing like metal, which is a little bit unfortunate with your dead pedal here, your brake, and then your accelerator pedal, not a throttle pedal. But let's take a step back here and look at the steering wheel. It's a twin spoke setup, nice bolsters, feels really nice and modern, and I'm the type of guy to have my hand rested down here. You do get a turn signal, which on a BMW we know is useless. So they could have actually removed that for weight savings. I'm just playing. But being in the driver's seat, you get really nice frontward visibility, and you get a really good driving position. And with that, let's hop into the back seats. All right, guys, so hopping into the back seats real quick, I love what they did here because it gives it very living room, very couch vibes. Because look at like the seats bottom actually curve in, kind of like a luxurious couch wood. And if you look up here, you get leather wrapping around this pillar. So kind of take a step around and look at this. You get this portion, so it's not just a seat and then, you know, interior molding, it's leather. So it really gives you a cozy vibe in here. I feel like I'm sitting in a living room, and the plushness, the supportiveness of the seat feels very premium, very luxury. So they are also heated. You have heated seats right here with this toggle, and you have all your AC controls down here, which is nice. You can adjust that on the fly. So good luxuriness, and you get really nice flat flooring and really good legroom as well as headroom. Going on to the seat backs real quick, each person seat back has 2 USB-C ports, which is nice. There is an accessory for like an iPad holder, which they will sell you. I like the fact that there's 4 USB-C ports just off the bat right here. That's really great. You do also get seat back pockets right here. And if you take a look up, you'll see there's a nice large panoramic glass roof. One thing I forgot to show you guys is if I tap on this button right here, it'll actually adjust it depending on whether you want it to be let in more light or let in less light. So I'll have Ethan, if you want to come in and take a look at that. You tap on this right here and it'll adjust. This will let in less light and this one will let in more light. So that's really cool. Let me open up this armrest right here. So it folds out. Nice. It's pretty stiff, but I mean, supportive. It's nice. You can really rest your weight on it and feel good. And if I press this right here, you get cup holders. That's all bottom. Very clever. Good packaging. And that's all nice. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up here. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer them. If you enjoy this video, smash the like button and subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.